Can I change tack for a moment to, I think, a really unreported tragic event that is happening in Myanmar at the moment? There doesn't seem to be a lot of energy from other Western nations to really intervene here in Myanmar. And what is happening? Well, we only know a fraction of what is happening, and it could be on the verge of some kind of genocide, couldn't it?
Absolutely. It is very tragic. It is something the United Nations Security Council should take up immediately. In fact, the High Commissioner for Human Rights said there will be a complete, it's like a genocide if it doesn't take care, if it's not taken care of right now by the Security Council members and the rest of the international community. And I do believe that the Western nations that talk about their belief in democracy and freedom and human rights have a moral obligation to act on this, and they could do it through the channels of the United Nations. The Security Council is an apparatus for that purpose. And they should not be taking their own sweet time, because look at what's happening in this country. Those pictures you're showing right now, throughout the country, the decimation and killing of thousands, if not more, of the people, of the civilians in Myanmar by the military dictatorship, which has been in power since 1962, and which seized power from a civilian government that was elected democratically just recently. And that's something that the other countries of the Western world especially should be involved with.
And Professor, I think a recent phenomena, and perhaps it was even sped along more by the presidency of Donald Trump, but there seems a reluctance, a greater reluctance in our environment, and I'm talking about, you know, the political environment right around the world at the moment, to intervene in another country's affairs. Do you believe that to be true? And if you do, why is it that there is that reluctance? And to put it quite indelicately, why do people not care so much about Myanmar, it seems?
Well, Myanmar is a smaller country in the world. It's not involved in global power politics, although I must say that it's an example of what the world is overlooking, and this occurs in different parts of the world, not just Myanmar. But I think it has to do also with not wanting to rock the boat. A lot of times there's trade issues involved. I think if China and South Korea would get involved also directly with the Myanmar dictatorship right now, because they have a lot of trade and investment there, they could have a pull with this military government to back off. But the world should really work through the United Nations to get involved here and really bring this to heel and stop this horrible onslaught that's going on. And I think we should put aside other kinds of questions of trade and technology transfer and this and that. Instead, look at human rights, because to me, that's the most fundamental basic right in the world. And if we don't adhere to that as democracies or people who claim to be democracies, which every country in the world pretty much claims to be, then we don't have much of a community.
Professor Peter Mathews, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.